I love the way the First Gen Lounge makes me feel.
Because it creates a space where I belong.
Where we're able to create community.
The fact that it's a community.
It's a safe place.
It also gives me a place to understand different perspectives.
The stories of these individuals prescribe transformational perspective.
I receive encouragement, enlightenment, empowerment.
And also serve as a catalyst to just keep going.
Where we're able to be our true selves.
I'm allowed to be an unapologetic first gen.
And above all else, tell our story.
And every episode is unique.
I love it.
I'm your host, Dr. Eve, and I'd like to welcome you to the First Gen Lounge.
Hello, dear. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you knew, hey, boo. Hey, y'all. Hey. So excited to have you kicking it in the First Gen Lounge yet again. We are going to talk today about when to say no to opportunities. And if you're like, wait a minute, Eve, you didn't say we won't be long. Should I just add that to the intro? But no, really, we're going to talk today about when to say no to opportunities. I've been thinking a lot about opportunities that I've been presented with. And some are really exciting and I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. Some are like, but if I forfeit this opportunity, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And others are like, I don't even know about it, right? But for you, as a new and or aspiring entrepreneur, how do you look at opportunities, especially when you're starting out, and know if it's something that you should pursue or not? Because again, one of the things that I found over the years is that there are some opportunities that I've jumped at for fear of missing out, and they really weren't a good fit, and I was regretful later, right? And then there are other times where it's kind of like, well, dang, I didn't see the potential in that opportunity because of X, Y, Z, and that was really a miss out, right? But for what it's worth, when to say no. There are three things that I have in mind for when to say no, and the first one is if it doesn't sit right with your spirit, okay? I believe in being an intuitive, spirit-led entrepreneur, right? There are a lot of things that do require logic, and there are many entrepreneurs who live by logic. But as someone who's deeply in tune with how I feel, and I'm deeply connected, with like my emotions, and I'm a very spiritual person. If you hadn't figured it out in the over 5 years that we've been kicking it, boo. But I am very spiritual. So for me, it's got to sit right with my spirit. It's got to just naturally agree internally. And when it doesn't, I'm going to say no to it. Because I also believe, and especially for those of you who are spiritual people, right? It's some people would say discernment, right? But for me, it's really saying, if it don't feel right, if intuition said nah, and then I do this thing and I regret it later, then you already knew. So rather than go through all the headache and the heartache of, for lack of better words, a wrong decision anyway, or a decision that I already knew I shouldn't have made, when you feel it, if it doesn't sit with your spirit, if something's even off in the slightest, then I would say, trust that and don't do it. And again, looking back, every time I ignored that feeling and that, I was like, well, damn. So got yourself. The second thing is if it doesn't align with your goals and your values, right? So one of the biggest things when you think about making decisions in your business, because every decision, from where I stand has the potential to be so transformational for your business. But I mean, even in life, right? So let's not even just leave it to business. Even in life, every decision adds up. Every decision, takes you in one direction or the other. But thinking about making decisions, I'm really big on value. So knowing what you value helps you know if an opportunity is aligned or not. And also knowing what you value allows you space to look at what the opportunity is in terms of like the value that it has or brings or exudes, right? And if that is even something that you find that's like this resonates. This, I agree with this. This is wonderful. And again, thinking about your goals, in terms of your goals, is this opportunity going to help me get to X, Y, Z, right? So is it sitting with my spirit? Yes or no, right? But is it aligning with my goals? Yes or no, my goals and my values? Because once you think about your goals and your values, what that does is help you look at the opportunity objectively, and it gives you the clarity that you need to say yes or no. And in this case, this would be one that's no. And this is also the reason why it's incredibly important for you to know what your goals are, like set those from the jump, and to know what you value. Like, again, things that are foundational as an entrepreneur, because it also makes it easy for you to look at an opportunity and be like, nah, I'm good. And then this thing, if your goals change, right? If your values change, and if you go back and see that an opportunity is a fit, then that's when you can go back and change the no to the yes, if that's okay to do. But I probably wouldn't advise that. I don't know. Depends on the situation. If it's just internal, then maybe you want to say, yeah, let's take it this way. But in this case, well, we sticking with no. The last thing that I would suggest, right, is if it doesn't fill up your alley. And what I mean by that is your experiences and your skill sets. So there are times when opportunities will arise. And again, it may sit with your spirit like, this is great. You know, maybe it does align with your goals and your values too, right? But it might not be that you have the skill set. Now you can say, but it's not having one of the three cool. You can do whatever you want to. I'm just giving you a few things that I think about when I'm saying no to opportunities. So for me, the skill sets and the experiences, they do matter, because what ends up happening is if I don't have the experience and the skill sets, how much time and energy is it going to take me to get to a level where I feel confident about the opportunity, that I'm not making stuff up. Like, you want to feel good about what you're doing. And how much time is it going to take me to maybe even have to go back and learn? Like, do I have time for that? In a number of cases, the answer is no. No is a complete sentence, ain't it? But a lot of times that answer is no. But what that does is, like, you are aware. And if you want to, again, work on those skill sets and experiences to feel good, later in the future, and again, just think about opportunities later, then okay, because opportunities are going to arise several times in several ways. So that's the other thing to consider. But in this moment in time, you want to trust that moving forward is something that you feel confident about. And I know in terms of like building confidence, sometimes it can be tricky. It's like, well, you don't know until you try, but you know things that you've done, and you know things that you haven't done, and you know what you feel about doing and presenting and giving to the world. And I think that you should do things for which you have strengths in. There's some people who say, well, work on your weaknesses, build your weaknesses. And I don't see that that's necessarily problematic, but I do agree with the school of thought that we should do more of what we're incredibly skilled at and gifted at. Not only do we enjoy it more, but when we show up to do whatever said thing is, it absolutely shows, right? So that's why I'm like, if it's not up my alley and I don't have this experience or skill sets and I'm not trying to learn that thing right now, no. And be okay with it. And no isn't bad, because what if I say yes to this thing, right? And I do a crappy job, and then now I've made bad of that opportunity anyway, or now whoever, whatever, way that opportunity came is looking at me like, well, damn. I'm like, well, so just don't even worry about that anyway. So yeah. But anyway, when you're thinking about, again, all of your opportunities, those three things, if it doesn't sit right with your spirit, if it doesn't align with your goals and your values, and if it doesn't feel like it's up your alley, again, do a self-check, add anything to this that you think are important, and then be cool with saying no. And of course, you don't have to be like, no, I'm not doing that. But you can say, hey, I appreciate you for considering me at this time. I won't be moving forward with the opportunity. However, if things should change, I would love to circle back around with you. And see, look at me having grown up, okay? Look, I done learned you something today. But it's ways to professionally just decline Unfortunately, I'm going to have to decline this opportunity at this time. But again, I do appreciate you for thinking about me. And again, if things should change, I would love to circle back around to talk about this once more. So again, very professional, very clean. You don't have to get, well, this don't align with my spirit, or this doesn't, fit with my goals and values, or this ain't up my alley. you know why you're saying no, and you know why you're saying yes. But again, no can be very clean. It can be very thoughtful, and it can be just, just here it is, and just be done with it. And then you may have some people that may ask you why, because I've had that happen, before. And simply at the time, I just don't find that it's a good fit. Again, it's not a good fit with my spirit, with my goals and my values, or it's not my skill sets. I didn't lie to you, but I just told you I don't think it's a good fit. And the fit could be for a number of reasons. But again, I kept it very clean, very professional, and still gave that person who may again be curious or interested some degree of closure about why I may have said not at the time. Now, there will be people that I've experienced who may be going on and on about why. Why is this not a good fit, or why not now? You can respectfully decline to continue to entertain those conversations. I'm just going to say that and be for real with you about it, because there are some, at the point that I say no, don't harass me. At the point that I say no, don't keep pushing it. But then that's also, now I'm really glad that I didn't say yeah, right? Because how could this have gone if I had said yes to this opportunity and then you just doing the most? So trust yourself. And let me say this to you as well. Just because you may be new to the experience or hoping, to get into entrepreneurship and then to experience being entrepreneurship, it doesn't mean that you don't know what you know. It doesn't mean that you're not qualified to make some very robust decisions. Trust yourself and start practicing early what it means to move like a boss, and a boss as defined by whatever you think that looks like, but have the confidence from the jump to go out here and do what needs to be done to ensure that your business and brand is going exactly where you want for it to go. So that is all that I have for you today. There are two things though, like just not even a part of the show, but two quick reminders, two quick announcements kind of things. One, if you are looking for, more to get your business going or just get it in the direction you want it to be, please head over to First Generation University and check out some of our free content as well as our upcoming trainings and the First Generation Entrepreneur Association. Would love to have you come, kick it with us. As well as don't forget to go check out the First Gen Shop. It's a first of its kind store to inspire, empower, and uplift first generation scholars and professionals across the globe. So, even if you or somebody got some first gens out here and just trying to, again, just celebrate and represent the identity, head over and check it out. And all the links that you need, you can find in the show notes. Okay? All right. But on that note, know that I love you. I'm always proud of you. Continue to believe in yourself. And most importantly, keep pressing forward. I'm out. Peace.